One winter I came back to my on-campus apartment shortly after a snowstorm. Fresh snow, about 1.5 feet deep, was covering every exposed part of the ground, including right up to the back door of the apartment. It was a townhouse-style place. The ground floor included a general living space, the kitchen, and a dining room with a large window. My roommate was out of town that week, so it was just me in the place, and I had a habit of making sure the backlight was on at night, because we had people come up and knock at the back door before. When I walked over to flip on the light, I spotted a pair of very fresh footprints, just standing and facing the dining room window, and a greasy face print, like someone had been peering in. There were no prints coming or going, and they hadn't been filled in by the snow. I called and asked a friend to stay over that night, and never did find out who had been out there. It happened a couple more times over the winter too. My fiance and I were stalked by a serial killer, and I eventually caught him in the act. This was in the summer of 1969. In the San Francisco Bay Area. We had a reoccurring night visitor at the bedroom window of our ground floor apartment over the course of a couple months. Late one night, I was home alone and went to bed. It was very hot, so I opened the full-length window. Soon after, I heard footsteps on the grass coming up to the window. So I crept over and yanked the thin curtains back. There was a man standing there, not 2 feet away through the screen. I screamed at him. He just calmly stared at me. Eventually, he turned slowly and walked away. I was having none of it, so I ran out the door and chased him through the complex. He jumped on a motorcycle just as I got near him. I figured he was just some perverse lurker, but the fact that he had driven there multiple times bothered me. A few years later, I was reading about the Sacramento East Area rapist, now known as the Golden State Killer. There were artist renderings, and one of them was exactly the man I had seen. Suddenly, it all made sense. This was right at the time when he had started his rampage in the East Bay. I reached out to the investigators and ended up being interviewed by Michael McNamara, the author of the book I'll Be Gone in the Dark, and the monster is now in prison.